Eat this. Eat this.
Okay.
Welcome back to 4 Geeks by Geeks, place where geeks come to geek out. As always, I'm PK.
And I am Bozo.
And I think you might remember him.
Xavier!
What happened to San Solo?
Han Solo was for Star Wars. This time we're talking about My Hero Academia.
Your intros are 1,000 times better. We're gonna get fired from our own show, and he's gonna take over.
We're gonna get comments down below. Can we get rid of both from PK? And how?
Just get Xavier and
Can
Han
we just
Solo.
keep
That's all you need.
Xavier?
I would watch him all day.
We just impose you on both sides. It's like, I'm San Solo and
Xavier!
Is it X Xavier or Hex Xavier?
Xavier.
Oh!
Because my
to
middle
follow the
name,
hero theme.
Yes, my middle name is Xavier, so it's X. And then
I thought you were gonna
Xavier.
say your middle name was Savior.
Well, that'd be sick. No, it's Xavier. Yeah.
That would be a lot writing on you as you grow up.
Yeah, I'd be like the next coming of Jesus. It'd be crazy.
Hey, but welcome back to 4 Geeks by Geeks. If this is your first time here at the channel, we geek out every single week about anime, video games, tabletop gaming, D&D, the best things on earth that nobody's talking about. So we are here to geek out with you. Let us know in the comments below what you like to geek out about, and maybe, just maybe, we'll make an episode.
Yes, but for today, we're talking about My Hero Academia. For those of you who don't know what this all-star anime is.
Oh, so good.
So good! Picture this. In a world where people with superpowers, known as quirks, are the norm, Izuku Midoriya has a dream of one day becoming a hero, despite being bullied by his classmates for not having a quirk. The story follows Izuku's entrance into UA, the #1 hero school. Thanks to the power of All Might and his quirk being able to be passed on, he's given the ability to fight as equals with All Might's quirk. But there's a catch, he doesn't quite have control over it, and he has to learn how to do that so he can one day take over the title of
#1 hero!
That's it.
Sorry, bud, but that was a good moment.
I wasn't part of the group text. I'm sorry.
I was in tune with that.
I was about to say plus ultra. Oh.
That works too. We'll throw in a
That's
plus
how
ultra later down the
you
road.
always got to throw in the plus ultra.
Okay.
For
Okay.
sure.
So, that said, before we get into a spoiler talk, we will make this next bit completely spoiler free.
For me, because I'm not quite caught up on the entire series, and if you're not quite caught up, but you are wondering if this is the series for you, this is a section where you're going to want to tune in.
And if you're wanting to get into it and we get past this, we will make sure we hit a spoiler mark. And once we do that, we will also give an impose as to when the spoiler might be over.
So you can just tap ahead and get to the point where you can enjoy it with us.
And when we say spoilers, as per traditional manga fashion, the manga is way ahead
Always
of the anime.
way ahead.
Way ahead of the
So
anime.
if you read the manga, you've already known the spoilers.
Right. So those of you who watch the anime and you don't want the manga spoilers, we're gonna put in a spot for that. But if you guys are all inclusive and are true My Hero fans and you're up on the manga, we're gonna be talking about everything. Coming to
Academia for some.
Boku no
So,
Hero.
Xavier,
Yes.
what do you geek out about My Hero? Why do you love this anime?
So, like any show, I think character development is really, really key. In terms of a show and a franchise, character development and plot need to come together and make this perfect meld. And I think My Hero really, really does that. My first full-through anime that I watched was Naruto, and I love Naruto. Naruto will still probably be my hands-down favorite anime, but this is comparable to that. Did you spell it?
No, I'm looking at his shirt.
Oh.
You've got like all the shonen jumpers on there.
This is
Quick side note. PK's shirt is amazing. He has Midoriya from My Hero Academia, the
Yes,
main
please.
character. He has Luffy from One Piece.
Yes, please.
And he has Naruto throwing a Rasengan out, all on one shirt. And it's fucking
She was
cool.
Sengon, and the hat, the
Oh yeah, and
face
then if you
mask,
don't know
and
who
the-
they are, they're just like, let's just
You
go
got
ahead
the
and
Luffy hat, you got
So
the kunai, you got the Naruto headband, and you got the Midoriya mask.
Sorry, didn't
It's-
mean to interrupt.
No,
bro, but this
it's the
shirt
next
is
generation
heavy.
of heroes all on one
I
shirt.
just noticed. I was like, we have a My Hero shirt, but PK doesn't. That's
Oh,
super
no,
embarrassing.
PK's got the anime shirt of all anime.
Now I'm
Yes.
embarrassed. All right, so character development, and
Character
it's got
development.
everything you need.
Yes. Character development is great. You see Midoriya, the main character, start out as a scrawny kid who has no powers at all. He meets his all-time favorite, hero ever gets his powers, through the power of his, what they call one for all, and he just the way he develops his quirk and the way he develops his power, even though it's not his, and the way he's able to learn and apply this power, all for the sake of being a good person. It makes for a fantastic plot, honestly.
And this anime makes me almost like, it's embarrassing how many times I'm nearly tearing up about this anime.
It's emotional.
Because, I mean, how many of us and how many of you have been at a point where, like, you watch Marvel movies, you watch superheroes, you read the comics, you're like, I just want that. And that is what Midoriya is. Like, he lives in a world where everybody's a hero except him.
He has no powers.
No powers, and he's like one of the few. Like, it's like
95%. Yeah, 95% of the world.
Literally, he's just a fanboy. By
He's
every
just
definition,
a fanboy.
he's got the books, like 13
how to.
volumes of just like, these are my favorite heroes. It's incredible.
But then he gets the chance to become what he's always wanted, and it's like this pairing of, okay, here's now, I could be what I always wanted to be, but am I enough?
Right.
Do I have what it takes?
Right.
And it's like that message just like punches me in the gut every time.
It really does. Now, in spirit of being spoiler free, the moment where he finally kind of gets out of All Might's shadow, though, that just had me like, that brought like a happy tear to my eye when I saw him, like, he had that whole lesson. He was like, don't copy me, be you.
Gotta be you.
And
Be your
then-
own person.
Just incredible.
You gotta geek out loud. You have
Yes.
to geek out loud, be your geek.
Yes.
I love the premise that this whole anime began, this whole manga started. So the author of the manga, Horikoshi, he was writing this, and it got into Shonen Jump, and the premise was slightly different. It was more like as a career man, and he was still like without powers, without a quirk in this world of quirks. And so when he started writing it, there was like previous mangas that he's writing that hadn't really gotten off the ground. And as someone who's always dreamed of writing mangas, this Horikoshi man, he was really feeling discouraged, but he chose to take a positive spin. He's like, I'm gonna face this with positivity. And that positive outlook was what was the birth of My Hero. He said, okay, what if there was a character, what if there's a whole premise where somebody overcame every obstacle with positivity, and that is Deku.
And Deku learns from All Might because All Might's overall, his motto, his theme that he says is saving people with a smile. And his whole motto that he built, because right now in the My Hero world, All Might is the #1 hero. There's, you got to think, 95% of the Earth's population has quirks, and a good portion of them are all aspiring heroes. And he is the #1 hero, the most powerful hero on the planet.
By a landslide.
By a landslide.
I am here.
The second most powerful person
Endeavor.
is Endeavor. He's a fire control guy, awesome guy, but
kind of a jerk.
He's a jerkhead, and All Might blows him out of the water. So
Because he's positive and he's nice.
exactly, and yeah, All Might's whole thing is just saving people with a smile and being positive and being this beacon of justice in a world of injustice, and that's what Midoriya aspires to be. He's watching videos all the time of All Might, and he's really just like, All Might is so amazing, and it's because he has this positive outlook on, okay, you know what, I am this beacon of peace, I am this beacon of light, and I'm going to use my powers for the good of mankind, and that's where like the overall story just really, really plays into.
Now, speaking of the story, this is where we're going to get into a bit of a spoiler scene. So,
Spoiler alert.
if you don't want
Now-
spoiled, this is where you're going to want to skip ahead. So, story so far. You've got my hero. You've got Deku, who eats All Might's hair to get the powers, which I always love that scene.
Like you do.
Eat this. Eat this.
And
Okay.
my favorite scene after that was when he's like,
Young Midoriya, do you remember what I told you? He's like, eat this.
He does the face. He does the face.
Eat this.
but
Okay, but have you ever wondered how many times his hair has gotten in like some piece of food and somebody accidentally ingested it?
so
And there's always people with like superpowers.
no, the beauty of that is you cannot get the quirk unless you will it. So that's because if you remember right, Stain licks Deku's blood, and
You're right.
That's how that whole thing
You're
is. Like,
right.
He was like, if you remember, like we had this conversation, I said you have to have somebody take your DNA.
Okay.
But you have to
Will.
want to give it. The biggest thing. So where the anime leaves off and comes into the manga is so important in like how things are gonna progress. So directly from where we're picking up, you meet All Might's old sidekick who can see into the future.
Yes.
Absolutely incredible quirk. But what he sees, and why he wants All Might to stop, is that he sees his death. So All Might's death is right around the corner, and he's trying to prevent that from everything that he can, and that's why he wanted to give power to Miro, right?
Right.
This
Miro was
news
another.
to me.
Well,
I'm not ready.
Hang on.
it doesn't come to fruition. Bottom line, it doesn't come to fruition. But you know, the whole next
cry.
arc is based off of him trying to prevent this, and he wanted to pass. He wanted All Might to pass his powers on to a gentleman named Mirio, who
Would
has.
you meet him? He's one of the three, like the three Sanin, I guess, of
Yeah,
this
well, he's
show.
one of the three. He's the top three. One of
Big
the top
three.
three
He's the big
characters.
three, yes.
Yeah, students at UA, and he has the ability to have like kind of kitty pride powers where he can phase through things.
Kitty pride, yeah.
That's literally what he is.
Yeah.
For real, yeah. And you know, the way he's able to hone his powers is really,
With
really
his
cool.
black soulless eyes.
Yes,
Wait.
but he's such a positive guy.
He's such
so
a good guy,
cool.
and like really, you can see that he
these
was
people.
also greatly inspired by him, and he had to overcome a lot because his abilities literally put him in a world where he couldn't feel anything, and he was in a pit of darkness, and it's absolutely incredible. So they go up against this guy named Overhaul.
Overhaul is trying to develop a drug that will minimize and diminish people's quirks. So they have this drug that he can shoot
Government
people with.
X-Men.
Very similar, yeah.
And it completely removes their quirk.
Right.
Now, they find their hideout, they get
Storm this bad boy.
storm this bed. Like, it's incredible. And
It's gonna be a sick arc.
it's gonna be awesome. The fight scenes are incredible, but basically what comes down is there's this little girl who can, that's how they're making this drug. She can not only take him away, she
her
can
quirk.
also amplify the quirks. Now,
Okay.
I don't want to give away too much about what happens with Miro. It does play a big part, but there's a final fight scene with Overhaul and Deku where they go all out. She grabs onto his back and he says, "Use your quirk."
Right. Because her quirk, it doesn't amplify. Her quirk is able to reverse the status
Oh, that's
effects
right, it reverses-
of people.
yes.
But because, you know, Deku has the one-for-all power, he's able
constantly breaking
to...
himself.
He's constantly breaking himself because he's trying to, you know, utilize his power in its most, you know, purest form, but his body can't handle it, but she lets him be able to handle it because she's, as he's expelling his power, she's reverting him back to his...
Yes.
And it's amazing. 'cause
So for the first time ever, he goes all out.
He goes,
No!
he's able to go
That's in the
100%.
anime? It's in the anime.
It's
gonna be
this
in the
next
anime.
arc in
No!
October. In October.
Yes.
Is
And so-
season 4 coming out?
Season
Just
4
announced?
coming out. Yeah, October, and he goes all out. So he's literally going berserk because of what just happened with Mirio. So he's literally just busting, and like you see it break and then heal up, and
Yeah,
he just keeps
she's just
punching.
constantly healing him while he's breaking his body, and he's able to just literally go at his full potential.
And it's
freaking amazing.
absolutely incredible.
So it's so cool. to
You
see
have
that.
kept up to season 3, and you are so here for season 4. I'm super excited. I mean, I didn't know any of this. I don't care. I need to see this in animated action.
I think what's great is that there's like 5 other arcs after this.
Yes.
And they're great arcs.
But
they're
the one I want to
great
talk
story
about
arcs.
so badly. It was a terrible arc until the very end. There's a training arc where they go
Yes.
Class A versus Class B, and it sucks. It's terrible except for the very end of this arc where you
Do we even
find.
want to spoil it?
I do. I want to so bad. I gotta talk about it.
goodness,
Should we
okay.
leave it? Okay.
It's pretty
so,
big, I'll be honest.
He goes in. He gets to see one for all of it, and he finds out that there's more to it than just super strength. He has the ability of every single person who's ever had one for all. The first one he unleashes is like this blackout thing. That's
like this shadow.
Oh my goodness!
Imagine his ability on crack.
Dark Hero Tsukuyomi.
Yes.
You got that.
Yeah.
Tsukuyomi and or guy from Naruto with the shadows.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but basically, he's now got the ability to tap into all. He doesn't know how to yet, and it has the same damaging effect. But he has at least 7 quirks inside of him, and
7
it's
quirks.
going to be incredible.
He's gonna be able to
So
utilize every one of
So
them.
the whole training arc coming up. So, with that said, spoiler over.
So, Xavier, of all the heroes in this, and this bench is deep in this show. There is so many people that, there are, lead characters, but there are so many side characters, but they
That all have great development.
so much.
Yeah, they all have fantastic
So much.
development.
So, of all the characters, who would you say, if I had to ask, who's your favorite?
Easily Mineta.
Mineta. Okay. For those who
Mineta's
don't know,
an actual
boy.
savage. He's an actual savage. So in a lot of anime, there's always this one pervy character that kind of makes some suggestive comments throughout the entire show, and that's just their character. And Mineta is that character.
But he does so well.
And he's this like kind of pervy little kid that makes these weird comments, and he's so funny, but he has the ability to redeem himself later down the road, where he's still developing his quirk.
Yeah.
He has his hair is like sticky grapes, where he can literally pull out pieces of his hair, and they're like sticky, and he can throw them at people, and they stick to wherever they're at, wherever his hair connects to. It's a pretty cool. It's a pretty
So
interesting
you can use
quirk.
them to climb, you can use them
Yeah,
to
like
people trapped.
stick people.
It's kind of cool.
It's a cool quirk, but his character of just being this kind of little suggestive guy is top notch. I love it.
Number one.
Number one hero.
All right, PK, who's your favorite hero?
Oh, going back to me because I have 2, and I'm trying to narrow it down.
Okay, mine, and I feel cliche because it's usually whoever the lead character is. Not always, but I was thinking it's either All Might, but I would say All Might originally because of his positivity, and if you know me, I'm super positive, and not only is he positive, but his real superpower is encouraging people to the fact where they believe in themselves. And that's always been what I want to do, and that's part of what I try to do on this channel. But truthfully, while All Might has his moments of weakness, Izuku has so many more moments of questioning. I have this potential, but am I enough to actually get there? And I can't tell you how many times I wrestled with that question. So Deku is my all-time favorite hero.
He's a great character.
And probably, at this point in my life, any anime that I've ever seen.
Which we'll get to. Okay, so I had it down to Todoroki, Eraserhead, Todoroki, Eraserhead, or Hawk, which we didn't get to talk about. But I think I'm gonna go with Eraserhead. Just solely because he doesn't care about the limelight. He was, when they went into class, he was borderline unknown. The only one that really knew who he was Deku.
Well, yeah.
But his ability to just use his quirk and have hand-to-hand combat, and he's got that, the whole fight scene where they were, when the villains first invaded, and he went against all of those villains.
With his binding claw.
Yeah, you see the hair come up, he's beating them up. Eraserhead's quirk is that he can temporarily prevent people from using their quirk, which gives him kind of an advantage because he's so good at hand-to-hand combat.
And he's got that cool scarf that just wraps people up.
Which was special made for him, but it was never meant to go against big groups. It was really supposed to be a one-on-one. It's a surprise attack, and that's all he's good for. That's why he was a stealth hero. But to see him, for his class, go all out against all these villains and really do some damage, absolutely incredible.
And he just cares so much about those kids.
Yeah, he loves those kids.
And he'll never tell them.
Right, he's apathetic about it.
Never tell them.
When he talked to Miss Joke,
What was that?
when he talked to Miss Joke, in the stands, he's I'm not happy, but it's your leg is bouncing with joy.
Yeah. He's really apathetic about it, and he makes it seem like he does not care about the kids, but he loves those kids, and I would agree, he's a really, really good character.
So if you had to take these heroes and put them in the number one team of 3, what would you do?
Alright, that's pretty easy. Deku,
Okay.
Todoroki, and Bakugo, because they're all 3 of the most powerful students right now.
And Todoroki, if you don't know, he can do half of his body does this huge ice power, and the other half huge fire power. Which
he's the
come
number
together.
2 hero's son, so the number 2 hero's Endeavor. He's still pretty powerful, but he's his son, and his arc is great because he battles between hating his dad because his dad kind of was a bit of a jerk to him for sure.
Mom.
And his mom, and so half of that is him hating his dad, and so for the longest of time, he never used his left side.
He wouldn't use the fire side.
His left side was his fire side. The right side was ice side, which he got from his mom. So he would never use his left side, and so his arc is great because he's developing that unconditional love for his dad and this respect for his dad. And his dad's character is also great because he's the number 2 hero, but he ends up having to grow into his role a little bit more, and so he's a great arc. So he's your character too, and him, Deku, and Bakugo, who is. We didn't mention Bakugo, Deku's kind of childhood best friend. Also a jerk, but
bully.
/bully, /rival, /best friend.
/severely in need of anger management.
Kind of like a Naruto, Sasuke, Vegeta, Goku type thing. They get stronger for each other, so they're each other's rivals. So at the end of the day, right now I believe Bakugo is still pretty more powerful than Midoriya. So those 3 combined would be a wrecking house.
Really, what I think is he's more confident than Midoriya.
Yeah, because he's had his quirk for all of his life. Midoriya's had it for only, a year, however long it's been.
I would say, let me think. So, obviously Deku, he's my main squeeze. If, depending where you're on the series, I'm not sure that we can really bring All Might into this, because All Might and Midoriya would be sick. But one of the top 3 students at UA High would be what's his name? Help me out. The Kitty Pride man that you're talking about.
Mirio. Yeah, Mirio.
Miriam Midoriya would be sick.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you were to throw, let me think. Ida, who's got like engine in his calves and he runs like super fast and he's like insane. The 3 of them, I think, could make a sick, nasty team.
Oh, I agree. Okay, so my 3, I'm gonna go Dabi as like the lead.
Villain.
Yes, I love Dabi. He is somebody I'm waiting for them to flesh out because they're doing very little, but I have this like instinct that he's definitely related to Endeavor, just with his abilities.
Dabi has flame powers, just to give you guys.
But they're all blue bell.
But they're blue flame.
They heat up blue, and I think at one point Endeavor does go so hot that it turns blue,
Right.
which means the flames are hotter. So I think he's got super hot flames, and I think Endeavor pushed him, and that's why he's got like all these scarring.
Yeah, all over. It's nice.
That's a hypothesis.
It's like it's out there. But Dabi's ability to like stay cool, calm, and collected, I love that. I'm gonna go ahead and just do a villains one.
Okay.
I would bring Stain back into the fold because it just like All Might, who's got this it's his drive that inspires other people. Stain has that same inspiration.
Yeah.
And then I'm also gonna use I think his name's Double.
Twice. Yeah.
Twice. Who has the ability to just duplicate to the mass amount and
clone
Kage
himself.
Bunshin no Jitsu.
And with some of the extra knowledge that I have, I think he's going to be a super strong character. So, that would be my team. I got a team of villains. You got an awesome team.
I have the most OP team in the show, probably.
Agreeable. So,
The real question is, at this point in time, in this day and age, here's my question for you, Xavier, is My Hero Academia the greatest anime of our age?
When you say our age, are we talking like the last 20 years? I'm 25 years old.
You know, you can define it however you want.
I want to do 2. We're going to do two things. We're going to go real quick. Yes or no. 1, is it the best ongoing anime right now?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, 100%. It's close. There's a close seconds, but it is untouched at this point. Now, is it the best anime of all time? No.
And I don't think it's been around long enough to even earn that title. I mean, some of these have lasted for
Decades.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
There's so much to be said about that, so you don't want to disrespect them by saying it's the greatest of all time.
You say that, but like Cowboy Bebop, which is on Moose's shirt right now, only had 1 season. It was 24 episodes, I think, is that right? 24 episodes? And those one-shot animes still have such high potential to, I mean, like, it's up there with that, and like, what was it? Samurai Champloo also has that same kind of concept.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily need a lot to mark its way in history. So I think where My Hero's at, it's definitely made its mark. It's made a very large impact.
And it's still going. It has myriads of
So
potential.
glad it's still going.
Yes.
Myriads of potential.
But when it's just in the same arena as One Piece, Naruto, Bleach,
Absolutely.
like, I just don't know that it holds up yet. I think one day it might, but what Naruto did in 700 episodes, I think to this point is untouched for me.
I would probably agree.
And I'm still early on the Naruto. Like, I haven't watched it all, so I can't comment so much on the all-time. But at this point in time, of all the anime that I've ever seen, I've never connected so quickly to the characters and the story, and I've never been so excited to continue the story like I have with My Hero.
And I hear that a lot because it really is a modern anime. You know what I mean? You take things like Dragon Ball, Naruto, and like, they're great, but they were in the 90s, you know what I mean?
Right.
Where just times were different, things were different, technology was different. And so, if you're a first-time anime watcher and you sit down and watch Naruto, it can get a little tedious, I would probably say, because of just
the start.
It shows its age for sure. But My Hero, it's really relevant. It has relevant topics, relevant characters, again, relatable characters. So I hear that a lot, when I'm talking to people who are getting into anime, they're like, hey, I love My Hero so much, and I'm like, why? And they say it's because it's just really modern, and I can relate to it, whereas some of these older ones, like, they're great, don't get me wrong, but they have their age, you know what I mean? So that's why I think it is going to become, in my opinion, the next Naruto. Again, Naruto's my favorite anime, and it's one of the bigger animes out there, and I think it will become the next Naruto without a doubt.
Guaranteed, it's gonna be the one that stands above everything else, especially with things like Demon Slayer coming out and everything.
Yeah.
But what do you think? Is it the best anime of all time? Do you love My Hero? Tell us why. I don't know why you wouldn't. It's literally the best thing.
So good.
I can't think of anything wrong with it.
have we inspired you to want to start watching My Hero? So answer all those questions, talk about it in the comments below. We'll hopefully respond to you as fast as possible.
Always.
And if you like this kind of content, don't forget to like the video.
Subscribe.
and that's the big one. Subscribe and hit that notification icon so you never miss an episode.
Oh, and on Twitter. They're on Twitter.
Because we like to geek out all week long. We want to be your geek out community where you can come unapologetically geek out about whatever it is. And you can do that on our Facebook. We have a specific Facebook group called 4Geeks by Geeks Geeking Out Community, and that's where we can really get one-on-one with you. So by all means, look that up, join the community so that we can continue to be more than digital buddies. We can become actual family. But until next time, I am Bowser.
I'm the PK.
And I'm the #1 hero, Xavier.
And you guys just keep
Geek it out!